just like destroy my laptop because I'm I'm streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and oh, I look ugly. Hold on, let's not do this. Let's go to share screen. Boom, look at that, sexy. All right, all right. Who's on my spaces? Welcome to my spaces. Welcome to me as GGT3 Cat Prince. I'm doing the manifestation spaces, teaching people how to manifest from this moment onward until I end this in the Twitch in the live. I'll be answering questions on manifestation, how to manifest, what to manifest, how to manifest easier, faster, better, etc. Don't know how to manifest, man. There's a lot of misinformation. Manifesting, a lot of people consider it to be magic, and it's not magic. Even though I do believe in magic, it's not magic. What's good, Alec? Alec the boss. I missed you yesterday. I needed you yesterday. You weren't here. You disappointed me. But nah, was good, was good, was good. Was good to the YouTube people. I have somebody on YouTube watching me. Shout out to you. We're basically doing a FaceTime on YouTube. What's up, Alec? Have anybody on Spaces? There is hella people on Twitter right now. There's hella people on Twitter Spaces right now. It says I got 3 people in my chat. I don't see that. I do not see that at all. But yeah, come up here for you. Was it scaring the whole screen? No. Was it? A little bit. A little bit. We scared the hoes a little bit yesterday. We was talking about Donald Trump and them, but like I'm saving that for the 7th. No, the 9th and the 11th. That's what I'm saving that for. We did a little bit of that. It was mainly just shooting the shit because like I have a plan I want to put in place. Shout out to Nabs280. He followed me 3 minutes ago. Shout out to you, man. I got 46 followers. I don't know why it says 40, 45. I have 46 followers. Or should be. I'm just flipping through the shit. Yep. Hey, got my viewer on YouTube. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So, chat, just decide for me. Should I just like get into what manifestation is and then just like do that? Because I'm waiting for people to come in and no one's coming in. I'm looking kind of bummy right now. I'm looking kind of bummy. No one's coming into my spaces, but it's fine. It's fine. Do I just get into it? Yeah, we're gonna be scaring the host soon. Don't worry. Probably the 11th or the 20th, but I'm gonna say the 11th because I don't like streaming on 9 days. 9 energy is scary. I don't like 9 energy. Well, I do, but not all the time. Yeah, I'm gonna just get into it. Actually, fuck all the waiting. So yeah, manifestation. I really have nobody on Spaces. Usually I have one person. I'm just on here. I'm kind of offended. But yeah, shout out to y'all. Shout out to the one person on YouTube. Shout out to the 5 people on my stream. What's up? What's up? So manifesting, right? Manifesting. Yeah, manifesting. Okay, so what is manifesting? I guess I should just start at the basics and then people are just going to come in here. Can I just not see anybody? No, niggas aren't here. Niggas are not in here. Ugh. So manifesting is basically, it means a lot of things, but I'm going to keep it at the very simple definition, right? Manifesting is bringing things to the physical, pretty much. To be manifest is to be in the physical, as you know it. Something, you're bringing something from the spiritual to the physical, right? Because there are many different forms. You're here in many different ways. Many different ways. You're here in more ways than one. You have a spiritual body. You have a chakra body, right? You have a lot of different bodies actually called your higher self, right? You have a higher self on the 5th dimension, a higher self on the 7th dimension, and so on and so forth. You have different higher selves in different timelines. You're in more than a single place than at once. Let me say that again. You're in more than one place at once at all times, right? And your mind is a mix of ideas. Someone requests to come up here. Cisco the 54. What's up, Cisco? Thank you. Thank you. I don't know how to say your name. Is it Ismar? Laymar? What's good? What's good? What's good? Okay, so I think my spaces is fucking up. So I'm gonna fix that actually. I'm gonna fix that right now. Reconnect to the space. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
Okay,
What's up?
what's up?
Now I
Now I
can
can
hear
hear
y'all.
y'all.
Hey,
Hey,
ouch. Hey,
hey,
Yes.
let's
so
go.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead and
Speak.
speak.
Oh, okay. I'm very interested in knowing that we are manifesting things wrong in the wrong way. Actually, most of the time, when I was younger, it was very easy for me to manifest. But right now, I'm a bit older and I can't manifest things the way I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, for instance, before I can think about maybe wanting to have something in reality. I can dream about it, but then it happens. But nowadays, it's not possible the same way. I don't know what happened between, but I think after I became sexually active, things changed.
Uh, you have a
You have a
you have a
you have a
thick
thick
accent,
accent,
so it's
so
kind of
it's
hard
kind of hard
to
to
hear you.
hear you. Can
Ask
you
your
ask your
question.
question? What's your question? Then you want me to answer
I
because
heard
I
something
heard
about
something about you
dreaming
dreaming
and
and
dreaming and
dreaming and
manifesting.
manifesting.
But
But go ahead, say it one more time.
My question is that being sexually active, does it affect the ability to manifest?
uh,
Uh,
it depends.
depends. If you're too sexually active, right?
Because your
Because your
chakras
chakras
have
have
an
an
effect
effect
on
on
everything,
everything,
right?
right?
And you have
And you
something
have something
called the
called
root
the
chakra.
root chakra.
And the
And
root
the root
chakra
chakra
and
and
the
the
sacral
sacral
chakra
chakra
are
are
like
like
the
the
sexual
sexual
chakras.
chakras. And
Having
having
too
too
much
much
sex,
sex,
well,
well,
having
having
sex, a lot of
a
sex
lot
with
of
one
sex with one
person
person
isn't
isn't
so bad,
so bad,
right? But
right?
having
But
too much
having too
sex
much
with
sex with
too
too
many
many
different
different
sexual
sexual
partners
partners
can
can
affect you
affect you,
and like
can
really
like
do a
really
lot of
do a lot of
damage
damage
to
to
you.
you.
And
And
definitely
definitely
can
can
affect
affect
how
how
you
you
manifest
manifest
and
and
how
how
effective
effective
it
it
is.
is.
You know what I
You
mean?
know what I mean?
But sex,
But
for the
sex, for
most
the
part,
most part,
improves
improves
manifestation as
manifestation
long
as
as you're
long
not
as you're not
like doing
doing
something
something
stupid, like
stupid like
having sex
having
with
sex with
500
500
people at
people
once.
at once. Like,
You know what I
you know
mean?
what I
It
mean?
has
Like,
to
it
be
has to
really
be really
damaging and
damaging,
really
really
toxic
toxic
for
for
it
it
to
to
just
just
get
get
in
in
the
the
way.
way.
Sex,
Sex,
for
for the
the
most
most
part,
part,
is
is
a
a manifestation
manifestation
ritual.
ritual.
Okay.
Do you
Do
feel
you
like
feel
your
like
sex
your
life
sex
is
life is
affecting you?
affecting you?
Then
Because then
what I can
what
tell
I
you
can
to
tell
do,
you to do,
because it
because
goes
it
both
goes
ways.
both ways.
Having
Having
sex with
sex
one
with one
person
person
or
or
really just
really
one
just one
person. Because
person. Because
you
you
don't
don't
want
want
to
to
have
have
sex
sex
with
with
more
more
than
than
just
just
one
one
person.
person.
Because
Because
then
then
that
that
yeah,
you're
you're definitely
definitely
getting
getting
affected.
affected.
Um, your
Your
manifestations
manifestations
are
are
definitely
definitely
getting
getting
affected.
affected.
But
But
also
also
saving and
saving and
storing up your
storing up your
sexual energy,
sexual energy,
depending on
depending on your sign. Like
Scorpio,
Scorpios,
right?
right?
They do a
They
lot
do a lot
better
better
at
at
manifesting when
manifesting
they're
when they're
absent because
abstinent.
now
Because now
that
that
sexual
sexual
energy
energy
is
is
being
being
built
built
up,
up,
especially
especially
Scorpio
Scorpio
women,
women,
especially
especially
Aries,
Aries women,
right?
right?
They do
They
a lot
do a lot
better when
better when
they're
they're
absent.
abstinent.
They
They
can
can
do a lot
do a
more.
lot
Mike
more. Mike
Tyson is
Tyson, he's
famous for
famous for
saying that
saying
he
that he
wouldn't
wouldn't
he
even
would
he would
not
not
ejaculate till he
ejaculate until
became
he
world
became world
champion,
champion.
right? That's
Right? That's the
storing
storing of
sexual energy.
sexual energy right there.
So
So
whether you
whether
use
you
it
use it
or
or you
you lose
lose
it,
it, right?
or you
Or you
store it,
store it,
there are
there
different
are
ways
different
to
ways to
use
use
sexual energy
sexual
to
energy to
manifest.
manifest.
Just
Just
don't be
don't be
toxic. Like
toxic. Like, don't be toxic to yourself, right? And
ruin
ruin your root chakra.
if
If
you
you
feel
feel
like
like your
sexual
sexual activity is affecting your manifestations, I recommend you stop.
stop
Stop.
stop being a
Being a
slut
slut.
or
Or
whatever.
whatever the word is.
Oh, the
Oh, the
audio.
audio here is double. Bet.
I know what to
I know
do.
what to do.
Like huge
Like huge
echo.
echo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking
I'm
at
looking at my
my
Twitch.
fault.
My fault.
But yeah.
But yeah.
So
So
let
let
me
me just do something real quick. Let me fix my audio in here. I'm going to go that way.
maybe the
Maybe the audio is fixed now.
but yeah.
But yeah.
Did I
Did I answer your question? Cool. Jordan.
Jordan
Jordan makes moves. What's up, man?
What up? What up? I don't really have a question. I just wanted to give my 2 cents. I do enjoy manifesting. Uh, I have a couple years experience just doing, practicing, and just trying to figure it out on my own. But yeah, I'm just excited to hear what you have to say about it. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. Thank you.
So
So it
like
seems
you
like you
don't
don't know
know
who I am. Exciting.
I'm
I'm
trying to
trying
get
to get to new people.
let me
Let me fix my
audio.
audio. My audio
So
is so
ghetto.
ghetto.
It's more
It's more
quiet.
quiet.
Yeah, I hear an echo.
You hear it.
You hear an echo?
I don't know.
I don't know if there's a solution to this.
Actually,
One
one
second.
second.
Let me get my headphones. Actually,
Actually, that might
that
be
might be the solution.
so I'm
So
gonna
I'm gonna
disappear
disappear
from
from
my
my
room
room and just talk on my phone. Maybe that's what I need to do.
But
But yes, so manifesting, I consider myself something of an expert only because everyone else just doesn't know what they're talking about. I do not like scammers. How's my audio now, chat? Where's my headphones? As soon as I find my headphones.
It's good.
It's good? Cool. But yeah, I'm something of an expert only because other people are either scammers or they just straight up don't know what they're talking about. Same thing with the astrology space. I hate scammers in the astrology space. People who just copy and paste stuff that they just see online, and people are paying good money. You see some people paying $200, $300, $400,000, $2,000 for astrology readings, and people are just taking that money and just copying and pasting shit that they see online, not really giving their heart and soul to these readings, and people are getting scammed. I hate that. Same thing with manifestation, man. Manifestation is dangerous, man. Like some of the stuff that's included in the manifestation space can straight up ruin lives, and people are just walking away with people's money. So that's my purpose for even doing this. Number one, I've manifested everything. I've manifested people, manifested jobs for other people, manifested everything but money. That's like the trick. That's like one trick, right? There's little tricks and stuff to manifestation that requires so much knowledge, like even like give context on. Yeah, but the original thing, right? The idea behind why you can't manifest money is because one of the to this matrix, whatever words you want to put on it, right? Stealing is the absolute worst thing you can do in the eyes of the universe, matrix, whatever, right? Murder is considered a theft of life, right? You can't steal people's ideas. Robbery, obviously, stealing. Whatever you steal, karma is like just waiting for the perfect moment to get right back at you, right? So you don't own money. You don't own dollars, right? That's like the trick. You have to own something to manifest it, or at least be in a position to own something to manifest it, which has its own caveats. But that's why the elite, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call it, still, that's why they push money and they keep printing money, because they know that people want to manifest it, and the Aether just won't allow it, which starts a negative feedback loop, because now people are trying to manifest stealing other people's stuff, and so on and so forth. I hope that makes sense. But that's just one thing. But let's actually get down to the get down, right? Let's get down to the process. And anyone else who wants to come up here and ask questions, go right ahead. Go right ahead. I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to help you out as much as I can, right? Because one thing I've learned throughout my studies of the occult, my studies of metaphysics, of quantum physics, et cetera, there's way more than one way to skin a cat, right? Like take free energy, for example. I like to study free energy. I used to be like a proponent of one way and really push that way. And if you didn't believe in that way, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Nah, man, there's at least like 8 different ways to free energy. There's so many solutions. There's so many ways to the promised land, and that includes manifestation. My way of manifestation probably isn't the only way. I wouldn't imagine so, right? But still, hopefully you guys can. How do you manifest? Actually, I covered how do you manifest earlier on it, so I don't want to talk about how you manifest. That's kind of basics. What I want to do is talk about, unless you guys want me to talk about how to manifest, right? Give me a thumbs up. People up here, let's talk about the process of manifestation.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm curious how you do it.
Yeah. 1 second. I'm gonna put my headphones in. Tell me if the audio's messed up. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool. Appreciate it. So manifestation, right? I'm kind of autistic. Not kind of. I am autistic, so I like putting things in nice, clean steps. So the very, very first step is to have a desire, to have something you want to manifest, right? And when you have this image in your head, try to make it as specific as possible. So for the purposes of this space, let's say I want to manifest a car, right? Manifesting a car, like the word a car, doesn't really help anybody. It doesn't help you, your higher self, the Aether, the universe, whatever tool you think helps you manifest, right? So let's say I want to manifest. What's a good car? Someone throw out, I'm not a car guy. Someone throw out a decent car that you want to manifest. Someone put out a car name.
Lamborghini Urus.
There you go. A Lamborghini Urus, right? That's actually perfect, right? Because it's unique. It has its own image. So now, next step, when that desire, you make that desire as specific as possible. I want a blue Lamborghini Urus, right? I want this specific model. I want it made in this year for this reason, right? And as you intensify that desire, try to get down to its what would it smell like when you drive it or when you open the car door, what it looks like. Obviously, that's the easiest way to visualize. You're going to be doing a lot of visualization. But desire, right? You got to have something you want to manifest, make it as specific as possible. So we're going to be trying to manifest our Lamborghini Urus. Next step is visualization, right? Which is just a step after desire. You want to again use all your senses, as many senses as possible. What does the car feel like? What is the rumble of the engine as you drive it? You want to be doing all these things. I recommend you do at least 2 quote unquote scenes. A scene is just a still in your head. So for me, when I'm manifesting this car, it's going to be me driving and me opening up the door, right? That's going to be very important as we get into the more advanced parts of this. So next, after we visualize, we get all the senses down. What does it smell like? Are there birds flying over? Are you driving past birds? Are you driving past people? Where are you driving it? Right? All this stuff, right? Next is transmission. So transmission might sound strange if you've never heard of the concept of your higher self and the aether. So I need to break those two down just in case anyone in here just doesn't understand. What is your higher self? I believe, right? I could be wrong. I believe every sentient person here has a higher self. That higher self has always been with you throughout your reincarnations. If you don't believe in reincarnation, it's always been with you spiritually. It's the only being that is here with you spiritually. You can call it God, you can call it anything you want. But I believe everyone has a higher self. It's kind of like a video game. With my understanding of quantum physics and how this matrix slash universe slash reality works. Just like the relationship you have with a Sims character, right? Your Sims character is just out there simming, right? You are God to your Sims character. That is the relationship with us and our higher self. Except your higher self loves you. You're not gonna. Your higher self isn't gonna make you do weird stuff, or your higher self isn't gonna install a mod to just make you look crazy and then post it online. Like that's not what your higher self is. Your higher self is here for your spiritual advancement, your spiritual benefit, pretty much. But there's a problem. There's an issue. I don't feel like getting into the Anunnaki part of the story, but basically, the reptile brain in our brains, the reptile brain, the theory that there are 3 brains in our minds, the reptile brain, the human brain, and like the other one, the pineal brain. Or I forget what it's officially called. But yeah, there's 3 brains. The reptile brain surrounds and suffocates your pineal gland. Your pineal gland is the main. It's not the main. It is the reason you can even transmit in the first place. Your pineal gland projects reality. I'm skipping over so much, and it's kind of annoying me because I'm autistic. I want to break down every single little detail, but no, your pineal gland is what projects your reality. It's what allows you to even be here. It's what allows you to sleep. It allows you to do a lot of things. It's pretty damn important. And your reptile brain surrounds and suffocates your pineal gland. So your pineal gland is how you communicate to your higher self. Your higher self doesn't really understand the English language, or really any language, right? Any human-made language isn't really built to communicate with your higher self. Your higher self understands feelings and images. That's the best way to communicate to your higher self. Actually, the entirety of the English language was built to cancel out any manifestations. That's what's kind of missed in The Secret, the book The Secret, right? Writing out the affirmations. If you're writing out in English, there's a certain way you need to write it out. You can't use vowels, or you shouldn't use vowels. I don't want to tell people what they can and can't do. You shouldn't use vowels, and you shouldn't be using it right-handed. But like that's so crazy to even try to explain. But really quick, I'll get into that. There's something called lever rotation and dextro rotation. So lever rotation is basically when you're writing left-handed and your words are slightly indented to the left, because now your words have a positive charge. You're positively charging your words, and the aether likes that, right? The aether can read it more clearly, and your message will be amplified. Make sure also you're writing with pencil. Why pencil? Because lead is a form of crystal, and paper is made out of trees, which are also a form of crystal. So crystal, yeah, lever rotation, dextro rotation, negative charge to whatever you're writing, which essentially cancels out whatever you're trying to write or you're trying to affirm. So the aether It reads dextrotation as a bunch of double nets. It pretty much cancels out whatever you're trying to say. So yeah, that's how you write out affirmations. I'll say that again for anyone who's confused. Does that make sense? Am I just all over the place?
Did you say with your left hand? Just just confirm.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't have to be left-handed. You can do it right-handed, but you want to make sure your words and your letters are slightly indented to the left, right? Because notice when you write right-hand, look at how your words are leaning towards, right? Or your letters are leaning towards. Because if you write right-handed, all your letters are going to be leaning to the right, which means there's dextrotation. The way and the shape of letters, right? Like take the letter F or the letter A. Take the letter A, right? To write an A, you need to draw a circle. The way you're drawing the circle, if you're drawing it from left to right, that's causing a negative charge, pretty much. It might sound confusing to anyone who just like is not a physics buff or like likes quantum physics or anything like that, but I promise you that's how it works. What else?
Um, hey,
Oh, you have something you need to say?
I think you were talking about Anunnaki. I read on the what that mechanic what you posted some books.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about that Anunnaki and all of those things. I read in those books. That was
Yeah,
talking about
yeah, I talk
because
about the
because
Anunnaki a lot, but I don't want to talk about them right now. I want to focus purely on manifestation and just how to manifest and help you guys with that. Is that okay?
it's okay. It's okay.
Yep. Thank you. So moving away from Dexter rotation and lever rotation, I promise I won't get too deep into the quantum mechanics of this. That's for my book. If you want to learn about the quantum mechanics, I wrote a whole book on it for the nerds out there. I'm just going to focus purely on the process, right? So we talked about your higher self and how your pineal gland communicates with your higher self, right? So the problem with that, the reptile brain surrounds the pineal gland. So it's kind of like putting a blanket over a radio. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard to hear whatever song that radio is playing. And it's the exact same thing with your pineal gland. Your higher self cannot really hear what your pineal gland is trying to say. It's very hard because of that reptile brain. Now, fortunately, there's a bunch of ways around that. One way that's been very popular are subliminals. I use subliminals, but just know, real caveat, you don't need subliminals. You have everything you need with yourself. You don't need me. You yourself is all that you need. You don't need me. You don't need anything else. You don't need subliminals or any other tool. You don't need affirmations. Yourself is enough. There's been plenty of people who've manifested things, great things, by themselves, right? But I like to use subliminals because I think they're a great tool to help assist me, right? Subliminals are they can be a lot of things. Most people use subliminal audio, which is like just these little messages, right? Like say we're trying to manifest a car, right? So say one subliminal will be your car is already yours or the car's in your garage, right? Just anything to help manifest that message, but it'll be said at like a very low frequency, below the range of human hearing. It's said that if you play those messages at that frequency, you're speaking directly to your subconscious, which is very powerful because your subconscious is essentially what allows you to manifest. It's essentially your pineal gland. It's essentially directs your reality. I hope I'm not confusing anybody. We got a lot of people in here. Shout out to the people in here. Make sure actually, real quick, everybody in here, please retweet and share this space, and so we can help a lot of people. We can get a little bit bigger, right? I appreciate everybody being in here. But yeah, a lot of people use subliminals. I use subliminals because you're sneaking past the reptile brain, and it's kind of a brute force also. So remember, let's go back to the blanket over the radio analogy, right? Where it's very hard to hear what song is being played if you put a blanket over a radio. But over time, your higher self will hear what you're trying to say. You just have to be consistent. You just have to be consistent. I promise you. So it's kind of an issue, right? Because a lot of people are impatient with manifestation. But if you just repeat the same thing over 30, 60, 90 days, I promise you your higher self is just going to understand what you're trying to say through a process of brute force. That's kind of what subliminals are. But there's a faster and more efficient way to manifest. I call it triangulation, and that's where we're going to get into in this next step. I had to break down what your higher self was. I had to break down what the Aether was, which I haven't done yet. The Aether, so many tangents, man. The Aether is, just think of it as a field of consciousness that surrounds and is within everything, right? You are a part of the aether. Your pineal gland is made out of silica quartz crystal. Silica quartz is pretty much what allows everyone to manifest. It's what allows computers to think, right? Silica quartz gets turned into computer chips and allows them to think and make calculations and so on and so forth. So the aether is this field of consciousness that allows people to manifest. There are two sides to the aether. There's the manifest form, which is me and you and everyone on here listening, right? And then there's the aether form, where the job of the aether, the job of that field of consciousness, is to listen to the commands of the people in manifest form, right? The aether is here for you and me. So actually, no one manifests. It's the aether that manifests for us. It's kind of like a computer program where we're not doing anything. It's really the computer that's executing on our commands. So we command, and then the aether just does things for us. There's an entire process behind that, right? Because there's what, 8 billion people on Earth? How does it know who to give priority to? Well, the loudest message usually is the one that gets executed on first. So how do you make your message louder? Well, repetition, number one, just constantly singing out whatever you want to manifest. So I'm singing the message of I want a Lamborghini Urus constantly, every day. But really multiple times a day, right? Because the more you do it, the more that song gets out and the more the aether will hear you. Doing it in different spots, that's kind of complicated. I don't really want to get, I told you guys I'm not getting into the quantum physics yet. Excuse me. What else? Oh yeah, having multiple people manifest the same thing. Really, really, really key concept. The CIA uses this to basically. This is why they invest so heavily. Look at MK Ultra and all the other programs that spawned from MK Ultra. It's two or more people, two or more aether particles, meaning just people, right? Seeing people. You have a pineal gland in the middle of your brain. Your pineal gland is made up of silica quartz, right? That means you're part of the aether. If 2 or more people try to manifest one thing, it happens twice as fast. If 3 or more people, 3 times as fast, and so on and so forth. Right? All right. I've explained everything so far. So now we can move on to triangulation. I'm just making sure I got everything down. Is anyone confused? Do you have any questions before I move on to the big one? Yes, no, maybe so?
One thing I wanted to point out was, when multiple people manifest, you have to be careful with who you're manifesting with, because if there's any sort of doubt within that manifestation, whatever you guys trying to get, like, for example, you and your girlfriend are trying to manifest a house, right? And then out of nowhere, your girlfriend starts being negative, like, we're not going to get that house. It's going to cost too much. And you have to be careful who you're doing it with. Or
that was actually going to be a topic on how to deal with challenging thoughts and what are challenging thoughts. I'll get into that a bit later. I just want to explain the third step because there's so much stuff to it. Can you guys tell just how much quantum physics there is and like how much of a nerd I'm trying to not be by not getting into it? I want to get into every single little detail. But yeah, also feel free to come up here, request to come up here, and I'll answer any questions you have, any concerns. Or you can just listen to my beautiful voice. I appreciate you either way. But yeah. Third step, triangulation. What is triangulation? Really quick, I want everyone in here, everyone in this room, to imagine a triangle in their brain, right? That triangle has something called a scalar frequency, a scalar signature. A scalar, I'm not going to get into that word. It's a physics word. But basically, it means that it has its own unique frequency that the aether can detect and that scientists can detect. There's equipment out there to detect scalar frequencies. For example, one lab, I think it was MIT, they were able to read the entire Bible closed. They never opened up the Bible, but they were able to read the entire Bible because every single letter in that Bible has its own scalar frequency. So they just read through every single page without even opening up the book. I hope I got that idea across. So, because you are sentient, because you have silica quartz, which allows you to manifest, right? Because you have a pineal gland, which also allows you to manifest, whatever you imagine has its own scalar frequency. That triangle that you just drew in your mind has its own electrical signature. That is quite the controversial statement if you're a physicist, right? But I don't think there's any physicists in the room, so I'm not going to argue with you today. But yeah, a little bit more advanced. Instead of imagining a triangle, we're going to imagine you. Imagine you in your mind right now. You in the physical form and the you in your head are the first 2 points of this triangle, right? Triangulation comes from triangle. So the you in your brain, I mean, the you in your mind and the you in the physical make up the first 2 points. So the you in your brain, I want you to imagine on a white, fluffy cloud. It doesn't have to be a cloud, but cloud is pretty universal. It's pretty hard to fuck up manifesting a cloud, right? I mean, I've seen it happen before. But yeah, imagine you on a cloud. And then we're going to manifest you again. But this time, the third you is going to be your higher self. We're going to be communicating to your you in real life, connecting to you, higher self. Now, I like to imagine my higher self being of just pure light, right? Pure light. You can do whatever's comfortable with you, but that's how I imagine my higher self, right? On this cloud. Remember, we're on a cloud, right? So, next step in this triangulation. It's kind of hard to do it while moving. When I'm in bed or if I'm just sitting down meditating, right? But if you got it like that, hey, if you're just that good, go ahead, do it while moving when you're at work. But no, you have you in the physical connecting to you, right? The first you, and then you walk up to you, your higher self, that being of pure light. And remember, your higher self does not understand. English was created basically to confuse your higher self, or any other language for that matter, because most languages were universalized through Latinization, meaning most languages were built to confuse the aether in your higher self. So you want to communicate through feeling and through images. So I walk up to my higher self. This is the me in the cloud form. I imagine myself in the cloud walking up to my higher self. Someone just requested to come up here. 1 second. Yeah, I imagine myself in the cloud walking up to my higher self, and I just think of an image of, right, a blue Lamborghini Urus, the desert. That's the image. I imagine myself in there, right, driving that car, how it feels, all that stuff. I want to be, actually, I won't speak that into existence for you guys. For me, it's difficult to maintain a thought. It takes a lot of practice. There was actually a video that a couple of weeks ago, a quantum physicist saying that if you can maintain a thought for 17 seconds, you pretty much guarantee your manifestation. Now, I don't know about the word guarantee, but that's still pretty very valuable advice. You want to maintain that thought for as long as possible. The problem is your mind is very active. Your mind is a very active place. I don't think. Raise your hand real quick if you've ever meditated before. Anyone here has ever meditated? Yeah, 1, 2, that's it. Yeah, so not a lot of whole people are familiar with meditation. If you ever meditated, you just know how distracted. The attention span of your mind is pretty low at first. It requires a lot of training, requires a lot of muscle to just focus your mind and not think of anything but one thing. So you're going to get a lot of distractions, right? Maybe I want to manifest this car, and then I think, oh my God, I got to pay my bills, right? That's a distracting thought. You really want to be as focused as possible. But the good thing is you can restart this process at any time. If you feel like you veered way too far off from your Lamborghini Urus, you just open your eyes, or close them if they were open before, whatever fits you. You open your eyes and you start all over from the cloud and you try again. But remember, focus on the feeling and the image, right? Eventually, your higher self will understand what you're trying to do. It's a lot faster than most manifestation processes. For example, before I knew about triangulation, it took me years to manifest people. Like I used to just steady try to manifest a girlfriend, an employee, a business partner, et cetera, et cetera. It took me years, if it worked at all, right? Which requires a lot of discipline, a lot of concentration. But recently, I just tried it, and it took me 4 months. Like I timed it, 4 months. So we go from years to 4 months, and that's just the first time. I'm doing it again, and I'm trying to get faster and just see how to improve on that. But yeah, just once a day, I would focus on who behind that. If it's love, just focus on emotion that's keying in, and it's better if it's one emotion, unless they're needed, right? And that's up to you. Focus on the image and just do that every single day. Once a day is usually enough. That's what I've been told. Once a day is usually enough. Grizz, you have a question?
Oh, I didn't know that was the sign for a question. I was just raising my hand. But it's funny that you mentioned the meditation thing. I don't know if you ever read the book, The Master Key System by Charles F. Haanel.
No.
He mentioned like doing meditation so you can get better at visualizing and holding your attention to what you're trying to manifest.
Okay, let me make this known. I haven't read any books on manifestation. I don't trust people. Sadly, or I trust very few people. I've vet people extremely hard before I trust what they say on manifestation, and a lot of this is just trial and error. But yeah, I haven't read any books. I'll probably give it a read, see if I like it.
I read it because XXX had mentioned it in like one of his little videos he did. But yeah.
All right. So last step, right? After triangulation, you're doing triangulation every day. But I do not believe that you can just sit in your room and just imagine things and things will happen. And neither does the Aether. The Aether respects action over everything. Action over everything. You need to step into whatever you're trying to manifest.
So that you can pick a picture of
All right.
what you are talking.
All right. This particular example, she doesn't use triangulation, but it still marks every single step of the way. Triangulation is exactly a step. It's just a technique, but still. So this story, true story, was set in the late 1800s. There's this loving couple, who lived in the middle of nowhere. They were in the middle of the woods. The husband built the house by himself. It's a wooden shack. Beautiful, right? Very homely. The husband hunted, the wife cooked. It was very, very great family. One night, the husband and wife got into a spat. Really, really bad spat. Right? They cussed at each other. They hated each other. All this stuff. And the husband said, "You know what? I'm leaving." And he left. The wife at first wasn't that pissed. He's like, "Oh, he'll come back." But eventually, after about a week, he didn't come back. So what does she do? For some reason, she doesn't go to the authorities. Instead, she set out. Well, at first, she would clean the room. She would clean the house, do any chores that needed to be done, and take care of the house as if her husband were already there. And every single night, she would make dinner for him, make a different dinner for him every single night, and put that dinner on the table, right? And as the story goes, she reportedly did this for about a year and a half straight, just setting the dinner out. And even if he didn't come back, she would throw the dinner away or feed it to, whoever, give the food away, and then just make a brand new dinner. One night, the husband comes back, says nothing to the wife, sits down at the table, eats his dinner. So what happened there, right? The wife manifested her husband back. I believe. I could be wrong, right? But year and a half straight. So first, she had a desire to get her husband back, right? To have her husband come home and eat dinner. A very specific desire that she could picture in her head. Number two, she visualized it. Right? Prayer is a form of visualization. Prayer that I'm not going to get into because that's more of the occult astrology stuff. She prayed for her husband to come back every day. Number three, transmission. Interesting, right? Because she doesn't know about quantum mechanics. She doesn't know about, Anunnaki, about astrology, any of that stuff. So how did she transmit her desire to her higher self? Well, she did a ritual. Buffs out there. This is what was it in Jujutsu Kaisen where they make a contract, like a cursed contract or something like that, where they just say, "You know what? I'm not going to eat beans for 30 days, and in return they get like super strong or whatever." It's kind of like that, where you can make contracts with yourself. I've seen people make contracts with like planets or different entities. I don't deal with demons. I do not deal with demons. I quite don't like demons, actually. I know a bunch of witches who do. More power to them. I don't like dealing with demons. I don't like dealing with any entity. Honestly, like I said, you have everything you need. You don't need to rely on a demon or a planet or anything like that. But I do believe these things can help accelerate your manifestation. But I don't see the trade-off. I don't think it's worth it. I do believe in them. I've seen so much that I can't help but believe in them. I do trust my eyes, right? But still, she did a ritual to help her transmit her desire to her higher self. What was the ritual? Cleaning her house every day, doing her chores, and making a dinner for her husband every single day. And that's both. The ritual takes both the transmission step and the action step. That's part of the action. The Aether saw her doing this every single day. And notice what she didn't do, by the way. What's her name? Jordan makes moves, talking about limiting beliefs. She didn't waver on one day. That's a limiting action right there, rather than limiting belief. She didn't go outside and search for her husband, right? That's a limiting belief. You got to be very, very careful with these limiting beliefs and these limiting actions, because you can do some things that directly challenge what you're trying to manifest. One comment I seen in the manifesting community, this girl, she was like, I keep checking my account and this money's not there, but I'm trying to manifest money. Well, like, that is a limiting action if you keep checking your account, because it comes from lack. There's a word I'm looking for. I just can't see it. I just can't find the word. I hate when I do this. Yeah, it comes from desperation. Yeah, desperation. So now you're directly challenging your manifestation, and it's making it a bit hard. You're confusing your higher self. You're confusing the Aether. You have to be fully aligned, which can be hard. It can be difficult, but you have to be fully aligned and aware of what you're doing and how it manifests. Right? If you're manifesting a person, say you want to manifest a significant partner. That's very common in the manifestation community. But you're out here dating other people. Well, like, do you really want your other significant other? You gotta, well, and you can. I do believe you can date while manifesting a significant partner, significant other. You just gotta target it in a way that doesn't where you're not tripping over yourself. Did that example help, or was that just straight bullshit? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Tell me, give me some feedback.
Yeah, the example is on spot.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good.
Appreciate it. So that's it in a nutshell. This space would be 3 hours long if I went into all the quantum mechanics, everything like that. Are there any specific questions? I guess I can get into like limiting beliefs, limiting thoughts, because actually a lot of people hate them, which I don't. To me, a limiting thought, right, or a distracting thought or a limiting belief, doesn't mean something's not working or it's not coming out in the way. It's all about your faith or your discipline, right? So let's say you're trying to manifest this Lamborghini Urus, distracting thought. You don't got enough money for that. I'll make enough money. All it takes is just defeat a distracting thought. Just your belief, confidence, right? The matrix, the Aether, God, source, the universe, whatever you want to call it. They just want to see if you're serious about it. They can't just manifest things all willy-nilly, right? Because number one, we wouldn't really learn anything, right? Look at spoiled children from rich parents. They get a Lamborghini Urus from daddy, and they crash the car. They don't even care, right? You gotta work for it. You gotta work a little bit for it. But with these manifestation techniques, it becomes a lot easier. It becomes a lot more aligned with your future. All right, a lot of talking. Anything from you guys? Anything from anyone else who wants to come up in here? I'll take that as an okay.
I think talking about it and the quantum physics, because I am a physics teacher. I'm teaching secondary school, so I am quite interested in what you are talking about. But I am more interested in that can happen on time. So time that you are being tested, you are really. I mean that you are manifesting. Are you ready for receiving it? If you are not putting environment to receive, it won't happen. So time acts as a buffer. If you do it well, it means you receive it. If you did it, you don't get it. So I think I'm more interested more in this.
So let me make sure I heard you right. You got a thick accent, and I think my audio is messed up. You say you're interested in timing and the quantum physics part. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, Yeah,
Okay.
I'm saying that I'm interested in quantum physics because I'm a physics teacher. So
Yep.
um, I'm happy hearing about that. Although most of the people don't do things thoroughly, so it's hard for them to understand even when we talk about it.
Yeah.
But
So
the good,
so
the
if you
good,
want quantum physics, bro, you want quantum physics, I direct you to my book, The Mechanics of Manifestation, where I get all into the quantum physics. Because if I get into it now, I will not stop, and this spaces will be 4 hours long. I'll be talking to myself by the end of the spaces. But
okay, but talking about the manifestation,
mhm.
uh, I I think the issue of time is acting as a buffer. That means when you do things, you expect them to happen. For example, when you pray and you expect them to happen, like we say, the environment for the miracle to occur, it won't happen. The example you gave us, that the woman was expecting was not even questioning if her husband would come back, but she was doing things believing that the husband will be. So it happened because she did not question. But
Yes,
when you
yes.
start questioning, that when you are what you and your manifestation will not happen.
Um,
That's what
I
from
won't say
you
it
right
won't
now.
happen. I won't say it won't happen. I'll just say it'll take longer. It'll definitely take a lot longer if you constantly question yourself, constantly questioning the process. Right? It's all you. A lot of people don't have faith in themselves. A lot of people don't realize the power they have, the power that they've been given as a birthright. Right? Manifestation isn't something that you do. I mean, no, hold on. Manifestation isn't something that you just turn off and on. Every human, every is manifesting. Like, we're always doing it. It never shuts off. So we're always manifesting. We're just not aware of what we're manifesting. All I'm doing is helping you be aware and make it more reliable and more repeatable. That's why I like quantum physics and making this all based in science and stuff like that, which can bore a lot of people. But to me, it makes the process more repeatable, more reliable. A lot of people are just I don't like it when people just give me vague answers. One thing that you'll hear a lot when you ask the question, how do I manifest? Raise your vibration. Like physically, but I don't think that's what they're talking. Answer just to give an answer, and just get away with BS. I don't like that. Just telling someone to raise their vibration and then manifest. I don't think that helps anyone. But yeah, timing. There are some situations where you can kind of sort of control the time, right? But that's all in the aether. That's all in the aether. You can do some shortcuts to make your manifestation faster, right? Which is like, oh yeah, let's get to that. Let's get to that. Hold a pin. Make sure I get back to your question, Cisco. But making when multiple people try to manifest one thing, what Jordan makes move, right? If one person is doubting the process, that can absolutely just get in your way. So one little cut around, you just print out the picture. So let's take our Lamborghini Urus, right? Well, don't print out. Draw the Lamborghini Urus. You print out a picture of the Lamborghini Urus, and then you trace over it, right? Now that Lamborghini Urus, that picture has your signature, your electrical signature, has your energy signature. It's very important that you do it yourself, which is why I'm against using AI for manifestation. I think AI is just don't let me get started. Just don't. I just don't think it's the best idea for manifestation. Um, but yeah, it has your own electrical signature, this drawing, and you keep it around you within your auric field. What is your auric field? It's this. It's it's this space that fuck. What is your auric field? It's one of the many different spiritual bodies that you have. It's basically the distance between how something can electrically affect you. I didn't explain that the best, but yeah. So it's between 6 and 12 feet for anyone, depending on how powerful you are. Some indigos, their electrical auric field is like huge, like a mile long. But I don't think anyone in this room is an indigo because they usually don't have any problem manifesting. Anyways, yeah, you want to keep this picture of the Lamborghini Urus within your auric field. Me personally, whenever I print something out, I laminate it and I put it in my wallet because now it's always going to be within my auric field, right? And that's just another way to help be more consistent in keeping this picture on your mind because now your higher self sees that picture and is like, oh, okay, I know what you're trying to do. So that's one way to help clear doubt when manifesting with multiple people. Have a picture. right? Picture in their mind, right? Even better if multiple people trace out that Lamborghini Urus. You know what I mean? Because now everybody's electrical signature is contributing to this manifestation, which helps a lot. Any questions?
She put a thumbs down, and I'm just curious to see why she put.
Thumbs down.
Max,
Magda, come up here and let me talk to you then. Request to come up here. I'll bring you up. I don't have any problems. I'm interested in why you said thumbs down too. Or maybe it was a misclick. Either way, put a thumbs up if it was a misclick and you don't want to come up in here. I don't want to put pressure on you. Wants to come up. Let's see. Welcome, Magda. How are you doing? Do you have a question? Do you have a concern? I'd love to hear it.
No, I just put the thumbs down because you're just like, oh, an indigo wouldn't be in here. They know how to manifest. So I just thought it was like funny.
Oh, you thought it wasn't? Oh,
no, I thought it was funny.
Oh, okay, bet. Yeah, I've known a couple indigos throughout my life. I'm not going to get into what indigos are. That's an entirely different subject again. But like, they have zero issues manifesting, or at least they manifest a lot easier.
I feel like my son is definitely one because like he'll say something and it'll happen like instantly.
Yeah, that's one way. Or like children. So okay, now we're going to get into your pineal gland and calcification, which is one reason why people, as they get older, tend to have problems manifesting. Which is why, like that phrase that babies are closest to God, because their pineal glands are pure and they haven't been really affected with all the mess, right? Like blue screen, right? Blue screen, blue. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Blue light, yeah, blue light, which really affects your pineal gland. Different foods, poisonous foods, which calcify your pineal gland, because your teeth are directly connected to your pineal gland. So whatever you eat, it's affecting your pineal gland, which is why fruit is like. Again, some fruit has been corrupted. Like they put a lot of, depending on like wherever you get it from. So now your banana is all sugar, and not the good sugar that you want. It's just like they fill it with like a different kind of sugar. That's like getting too deep into the specifics. Babies and children are closest to God. Does your child have an imaginary friend?
Yeah, he'll to himself a lot.
Yeah, so I had an imaginary friend when I was young. His name was Michael. I know his entire backstory. My mom swears to God that like he just wasn't real. One day he just disappeared, so maybe he wasn't. But yeah, Michael was my imaginary friend. I think he was either like an angel or like something, or maybe a demon. Who knows? Who cares? But yeah, children can definitely see things that just aren't there, and the frequency range starts to sharpen up as they get older. Right? There's a reason why as you get older, you can hear things. He can hear less and less things. The electromagnetic spectrum, very important. It's like you can see less than 1% of what's actually there. Just keep that in mind whenever your child is doing something or seeing something, right? Do you ever get scared? Like, if my child ever said like I was a killer in the past life, I'd ship him off. I'll put him in the forest. Just leave him there. I don't think I could just deal with that personally.
I don't know. My son, he'll say some stuff, especially my youngest. Like he'll be like, "Oh, I saw a green orb in the room," and it was right before he was getting ready to go to school. I was like, "What do you mean you saw a green orb?" I don't know.
Yeah, that's scary.
That's interesting.
I did some research and I was just like, "Oh, like the green is like healing energy." So I'm not sure. I think my sister was like sick during the time, so maybe he was just like, "Oh, like she's gonna get better" or something like that.
So I'm not gonna. It's not the best to assume something is just positive or negative, simply because we're just so unaware right now for a lot of reasons. What I will say is someone is definitely watching. Usually, an orb means like some kind of spaceship or some kind of transportation of some kind. Someone was definitely watching. At that moment, something was definitely there, and yeah, he detected it. Cats are very good at doing that too. Cats and dogs. Dogs are better at like detecting dead spirits. There's a reason why Anubis was a dog in ancient Egyptian themes, and like they used. I don't know if anyone here has watched World War Z, but they used dogs to like detect if anyone was a zombie. That was like a callback to that. Like they can detect dead things. And cats in general have like a very wide frequency range where they can just detect things that just aren't there. They're constantly fighting what we would call ghosts or spirits or anything like that. They've been used to battle spirits or to just collect negative energy for thousands of years now. Like the ancient Egyptians knew, which is why they were treated as gods, because they just constantly collect negative energy. Black cats collect the most negative energy, which is why like they're considered bad omens because they have so much negative energy around them. It's something bad happens whenever they cross a bad cat. I mean, a black cat. But yeah, there was a video that came around, really viral. Had the sad music because a dog died, and then like a week later, the cat was just looking around in the air as if something was flying around, and like they were saying that was the spirit of the dead dog, and they were communicating. It was very sweet. Almost made me cry. But yeah.
Do you feel like dogs too can kind of take away, like not take away karmic debt, but like pretty much like take a karmic hit from that you were gonna get? Because I feel like that happened with my last.
If you notice, if you're ever in a bad dog, they absorb that negative energy. Notice, but your energy starts to change when you're around your animal.
No, I'm talking about like the dog will like literally like something bad will happen to the dog
yeah.
or something like that.
That's another thing as well. Yeah, with connections to dogs, there reason, and if there's every negative situation that was meant for you, the dog would take that hit first. Definitely.
Bro,
Yeah,
my cat's just staring at me. He came out of
that
nowhere.
is that is true. I'm talking about dogs, and that's why in our African very much advised to have uh, uh, dog, cats, or whatever. You can have dog, cat. I used to take those for us, those seats for us.
Yeah, I mean it's as simple as like cats and dogs are the protectors of our DNA. Like if you look at the DNA strands, I think it has the same like code as like cat or something like that. I remember hearing something like that.
I might have to end the spaces. I might have to end the spaces because. Hold on. What's up, G? Hello? You come here? Can you hear me? Oh, G didn't pay for his internet. Good thing too. No one wants to hear him. No one wants to hear him talk.
Can we continue with the lesson today?
Hold on a second. I'm seeing if G is here. If you can hear me, or if his phone is messed up. Oh man, what's up? All right. I'm gonna just keep talking until he says something.
I'm about to say.
Yeah. What's up, Grizz? You have something to say?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you, what do you think about consciousness when it comes into play of manifestation? I'm pretty sure it plays a big role, but I used to think the conscious, like the actual consciousness compared to the subconscious, is like more.
So
Subconscious is more spiritual, and the consciousness is more.
So I believe
the subconscious piece of like what God is, like it's a small. Makes sense.
I believe that if you don't have a soul, you're not really conscious. If you don't have without a soul, you can't even manifest. Point blank, NPCs can't manifest. That's one of the worst things of being an NPC. Besides being an NPC, right? They can't manifest. They're just walking around lazy. Just imagine just like a zombie, right? Like literally a zombie. They just can only react to inputs. They only react to their environment. They have no thought. That's pretty much what an NPC is. I explained NPCs in a different space when I was talking about demons and all that stuff and where they can possibly come from and all that stuff. There's like different cloning stations and CERN, all that stuff. But yeah, manifestation.
You know, if you can't get in your hose, you can't manifest either.
Shut the fuck up. How are you gonna come in here and just lie? Like straight up just lie. And I know that's a lie. You're not gonna lie to people because you said a virgin can manifest like way long ago. You said virgins are the best at manifestation.
I was talking about females.
No, you weren't. You're talking about you just lied.
No, that's the truth. I was talking about females. See, you never trust a man who can't get any pussy, and you never trust a woman who's had too much dick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the talk about manifestation.
I'm out of here, man. You're good, man.
Well, no, I love you, G. He just came in here to talk shit.
Hey, who manifested Gary?
It's probably me. But yeah, while you guys are in here, make sure you follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/numbers and stars. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. I do readings. Everybody's about to leave out of Gary's gone. But yeah, appreciate you guys. What's up? What's up? What's up?
I'm very delighted that Gary came, and I was very happy today that he talked directly to us. I'm very happy.
Don't be happy. He's not shit. Don't say that. Nah. Shout out to Dre Drops Knowledge in here, man. It's very rare I get him in here. Shout out to Dre. Shout out to Chivo. I got Gang is in here. What's up, squad? Follow me on Twitch. I'm trying to get my numbers up. I need a lot of followers. Twitch.tv/numbers and stars. I put the link in my thing. But yeah.
What's poppin', son of a cat?
What's up, man? What's up, man? Unfortunately, Gary left. I know you had something to say. Right? No?
You said what?
I said, unfortunately, Gary left before you can get your shit off. I know you had something to say to Gary. But yeah, what's up, man?
What do you mean I had something to say to Gary? What are you talking about?
I thought you came up here because Gary was in here.
I just had a notification and I just pressed on it. I was like, whatever.
Hey, Liddy. We're talking about manifestation, how to manifest, all the different challenges that come around. Do you have any questions for that, or you just want me to just
wait, manifesting what?
We're talking about manifesting, how to manifest. I believe you can manifest anything except money, because the Rothschilds own it. Only the Rothschilds or whoever prints, like the Federal Reserve, basically. Everyone else, you can't really manifest money because you don't own it. It's one of the worst things you can do in this matrix. So you can't manifest something that's not yours.
Elaborate. See, we're gonna go, bro. So for everyone in this space right now, I'm gonna let you know. Me and this nigga are gonna go down a rabbit hole. Last time we talked about Anunnaki, and we were in that hole for how long? Like an hour?
Nah, bro. I specifically said this is really about manifestation. I'm not talking about quantum physics. I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm not talking about Anunnaki. We're just
but for sure. Because we ended up going down that hole for an hour.
Yeah, bro. I tell people, bro. People don't believe me. I said I could talk about this for.
But see, it's because I can keep up with the conversation with you on that. Some people don't know about topics like that.
Yeah,
so, man. But I bet continue. Elaborate though. Why do you think the money is owned by them?
Because they print it. But they trick people into thinking that they own it. People think they own it, but they don't own it. It belongs to the Federal Reserve. Just because you use it does not mean you own it. So now we have people trying to manifest thousands of dollars, and it's not working. People don't know why it's not working because
But then what about the quantifiable amount of the people who do manifest money?
Usually they do that. So for example, for me, I know I can't manifest money directly, but I did manifest more readings, right? Which in turn would get me more money. It's a very simple workaround. Or like they don't manifest money directly, they manifest a situation that'll make them more money.
Oh, yeah. So it's not money, but it's more like it's abundance, right?
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Wait.
So it's kind of like saying when people be saying, "Hey, like follow your passion and go through with it," and the money's a byproduct of the hard work. That's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, most people in the manifestation space, the more successful ones, they talk about abundance and wealth and never lacking. That's what they do. They usually don't try to manifest money directly. Grits, you have something to say?
That's correct. Yeah.
Wait, bro. There's plenty of things created by others. So, like, is it the energy imprint of the Rothschilds, or what is it? Because there's plenty of things that humans have created.
All right, so let me explain. Anything you need to. What is the term? Something called a seed, atom, fire letter. That's what it's called. So signets. That is the most basic form of what we would call a fire letter. A fire letter is the most basic form of what we would call just a command, right? Remember when I said the Aether needs to be command? There's a program language, right? Python, C++ for computers. The Aether, the programming language for the Aether is cellular language. What is cellular? Almost dropped my shit. Shapes command the Aether. And notice how shapes make up every single part of our reality, down to the alphabet, down to numerology. Those are shapes that are sending specific messages to the Aether. So the number 1 sends a message to the Aether, number 11. And notice how I just broke down how numerology works. Thank you. Anyways, shapes command the Aether. And pretty much the Rothschilds and all the 13 families, they have access to a lot of different commands, a lot of different shapes. So when you create a shape, you own it, right? So the shape of the dollar, the US dollar, somebody created that. They just printed it over and over and over again, right? So that shape, the shape of the dollar and the exact print and all the different numbers on the dollar, somebody somewhere was the original creator of that. And they just simply print it out over and over and over again, right? So they're manifesting something with that shape. It's just we're using it. The fact that we're using it is just means we're helping them manifest that. Doesn't mean that we own the dollar. Whoever created the original design for the dollar,
Okay, so it's not of the Aether, it's of that being or that entity. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, it's kind of like IP, but like on a spiritual level, spiritual IP.
Okay.
And anyone can do this, by the way. Anybody can do this. When I said trace out that Lamborghini Urus from before, I was basically telling you to create a fire letter without telling you because I didn't want to get into the specifics, right? Because it gets very complex. Yeah.
And that's why you said like that kills like the doubt of anything because you've already put your signature on it because it's yours.
Yep, because it's yours, and you're helping manifest this image, and again, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Sonu, how did I say name? Sonu King wasn't here for that.
My first name is Sonu, last name King. Just call me Sonu.
Sonu.
Good
Lord. I can't read. Anyways.
You straight.
Nothing. I was just saying that you weren't here for that part.
Going back and forth. Can someone mute them real quick? I don't know who it is. Okay, so this is where I kind of get where this in your shit, bro.
Go ahead.
What about niggas like me who day trade full time? We're getting money that's in a, let's say, centralized asset, US 30.
So
that.
I never said that you can't make money. I just said you can't manifest it. You're not.
I see. I can see that too.
For example, I can't be in my room 24/7 just thinking of a CIA AC-1 in a crate going through my roof. I can't do that. That's manifesting money. Like, no, I cannot do that. And that's manifesting a lot of damage too. But you can make money. There's plenty of people who make money on the stock market or on trading.
Oh, so you're saying that like manifesting. Oh wait, in a sense, that's manifesting money then, right?
Were you manifesting money? No, you weren't. You're.
Nah, I was working on my skill set, and the money was just a byproduct of it. So,
yeah.
Type shit. Okay, so that's what you mean by workaround. Oh, I got you.
Yeah. There's a billion workarounds.
That's a hot take. So how you feel about like since Trump is putting an end to the Fed Reserve? What do you think is gonna happen?
No, not answering that, man. Whenever I get into Trump, it starts a fucking thing. I'm not doing that. Not for today.
Nah, what you mean? What you mean? I'm cool. What you mean?
Because you already. I don't want to get into the Anunnaki stuff. That's all.
Bro, what? No, I'm saying that like, how do you feel that since Trump is like ending the Fed Reserve, so like we're going on tariffs and shit. So like, how do you think that's going to impact? Like for example, like.
Just because he ends the Federal Reserve, I don't think he's taking away the dollar. I don't think that's gone. So it's the same thing. If the dollar is still here, then it's the same thing. I don't imagine he's going to issue another dollar. I don't imagine that. We'll see. There's so much that we don't know, and a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. I was about to say, because in theory, that means that let's just say hypothetically, let's say bro was to start like his own digital currency. You're saying that he'd have his own imprint on that, correct?
If he designed it, yeah. If he was the original designer of the shape, right?
That's an interesting take. Hang on, my G. That's an interesting take. I fuck with it.
Hey, you got the guy. You got the other guy. The son was a guy. Shout out to Dre Dog's Knowledge. Rooster. One of the only roosters I like. What's up, man?
Yo, what up? What up, fellas?
What's poppin'? What you got for me?
No, I was just tapping in on what Sonu was saying, or Sonu.
Yeah.
I do believe that we are going away from a Federal Reserve system. I do believe that we are going to issue RLUSD, a cryptocurrency, on the Ripple Labs network that is going to be tied to the dollar.
Exactly.
And the reason for that is the illusion that, and this is just my 2 cents. This is not financial advice. It's my thoughts. I believe that there's so many people living day-to-day life with just cash. There's trillions of dollars not being taxed. And even if it's a flat tax of 10%, the people that have been paying 50% tax, they're like, damn, like that's a fuckload of that's fall off. We were paying 50%, now we're paying 10. Life is great. But for the people that control the world, there's like, okay, there's 20% of the world that's off grid doing everything in cash, under the table type shit. If we have to validate every single ledger and every single transaction on a digital blockchain, none of those people can exist. They have to validate where their income's coming from. And so number one, the pros are there's no money laundering other than on the private ledger through governments. But the good news is for them is the civilians that are making millions of dollars under the table, the bookies that are making all their money, this and that, they can't use that money for shit. And so, yeah, I believe that XRP is going to be a cryptocurrency that shifts the entire direction of the world. And instead of using actually the XRP, they're going to use the one that's pegged to the dollar, the RLUSD, which I believe will be backed by gold eventually. And so I do believe that in our lifetime, we'll never see a better investment than being able to buy XRP today for, $2. It's like buying into Amazon at $5. It's
Not financial advice.
not financial advice, is my opinion. You know what I mean?
I ain't
And
gonna
so-
lie. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know about it being XRP, but I do believe it being a specific currency. I feel like this is like my opinion. I feel like it's something that hasn't been revealed yet. That's what I think. Some type of DeFi currency, some type of DeFi thing that's gonna like change shit. But I think it hasn't been revealed yet.
So a lot of people think it's going to be Zcash. That's what a lot of people think. Could be.
Could be.
Whenever I look at things like this and I make an opinion, I always look at who's at the head of the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I issue a challenge. Look at the board of directors and the top 20 people in any company in the world and try to find a more elite table than that is working at Ripple. You got people that used to work at the Federal Reserve, people that worked at Apple. You got the very first wallet ever called Musk. You got, I believe, Peter Thiel and Brad Garlinghouse and all these guys that were working with PayPal. I believe that long ago they planned for this to be the move, and even giving Trump,
for sure.
even
Bro, they were
giving
all
Trump $1 million in XRP, right? But they planned it to be, let's say, 10 years from now, it's worth $10,000, and he's had $21 million of it when it was $2. Trump be a trillionaire. He's already been a millionaire. He's already been a billionaire. He's never been a trillionaire. So I just think that the way that the world is going, we are definitely in the first financial shift we've seen since 1913 when we went to the Federal Reserve System. Then 1970s, they took us off the gold standard. These were small little shifts. The Federal Reserve was a huge shift. But I think what's coming, the crypto shift, is going to be the greatest opportunity in our entire lifetime. Even if I'm wrong about XRP, there will be a cryptocurrency that it's not going to be Bitcoin. Mark my words. And there's going to be something, whether it's Zcash, Solana, XRP, one of these things is going to eventually run the entire world and run the entire system into what they call the Internet of Value. Like, you're not going to be fucking buying a car and writing out all this paperwork. It's going to be on a ledger of some sort.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But take.
I'm not turning this to a crypto spaces. If it turns into a crypto spaces, I'm gonna leave. I'm not a crypto guy. But yeah, shout out to Dre Drops Knowledge, man.
I bet. Manifesting.
Yeah, and Sano, I think you're the person that's echoing. I think that's you.
It's me. Or is it fixed or not?
Yeah, for now. Yeah, I don't hear anything.
I bet. Cool. Nah, I was gonna say that another thing about manifestation. I mean, it worked for me. When I made my first 6 figs, it was low key or high key. It was high key, just as corny as some people are gonna think this is gonna be. It's not even corny at all. It's just already acting like the person you want to become. Like, no bullshit. Yep. That's actually just so real. And all that really is, it's nothing like, it's not magic or anything. All that is just subconscious programming on a subconscious layer. That's really it. It's kind of like when they try to say like, oh, before you go to sleep, envision what you want to be, yada yada. Because when you go to sleep, your conscious self is off and your subconscious is on. So that person is responsible for changing your reality. It's like
The
that.
the example I always use is like take the kid that's being bullied, right? And he just keeps repeating to himself, "I'm the shit. I'm a fucking badass. I'm the shit. I'm a fucking badass." Eventually, he's going to programming, which has
Exactly.
been explored. Right? It's been
Yeah.
explored extremely deeply by the CIA, by the
Yeah.
Russians, by every government like that takes it seriously. They
It's like
invest.
this. It's like, bro, it's like this. It's like whatever the frequency of whatever you want to be is, you just have to tune yourself to that frequency. And that's it. You're it. Bro, you're so crazy. This might be a little off, but I ain't gonna hold you, bro. They did the frequency thing on water. So like when you tell it thank you and then you tell it fuck off or like you're a piece of shit or you curse it out or whatever, the water molecules look disgusting. But when you say like, oh, I'm happy, thank you, I love you, it's like the water's
Oh, you're
particles.
talking about the Japanese scientist. He's the first person to do this test, and he did
Correct.
it
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah. Thank you. Cymatics, yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, see, that's why when you were talking about money, manifesting money, I was like, wait, but if you tune yourself to that
Yeah, another
frequency,
thing with that is the law
if you
of
tune yourself to the
opposites also
frequency,
sees the law of
if you tune yourself to the frequency of being a multimillionaire, a multi-billionaire, in theory, in time,
something
with proper
happened.
due diligence, due action, it's going to manifest. It's just going.
One second.
That's why
Let
I
me
was
add one
listening.
more thing to that.
Hold on. One person at a time, please. One person at a time. Shepard, I'll get to you right after Sonu and Andre speak. I know that some people have been on hold up. All right, let's go.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was what I was trying to say. I was trying to say when you were on.
Hello?
Yo, real quick, can I add something in regards to what you were saying about like if a kid says I'm a badass every day, eventually he'll be a badass.
Yeah.
The same ways that skills pay the bills, you can't manifest a hole until you pick up the shovel. A kid says every day I'm going to be a badass, but doesn't put in the actual physical work ethic to acquire the skills. He's not going to become a badass. Just like somebody saying I'm a world class sniper is not going to become a world class sniper unless they put in the effort to upgrade their character / acquire skills. So skills pay the bills.
Well,
So
what you're
Yeah,
talking
type
about,
shit.
because I talked about this, is step 4 of the manifestation process. At least my manifestation process is action, right? Because I always say you can't just be in your room, just trying to manifest shit and not doing anything. The Aether respects action over everything. The Matrix, the universe, whatever you want to call it, respects action. It respects
Absolutely,
doers.
absolutely, for real.
Mm-hmm.
I would
Shep,
argue,
go ahead.
last thing I'm going to say, I would argue that it's like even if your mind is fucking in, who absolutely fucking hates weightlifting. He hates it. And he's like 19 years old. And I'm in the gym with him the other day, and he hates every process of it. He's moping. He's doing all this shit. God, I can't believe my dad makes me do this. And then he's throwing up 405 pounds on the bench press. So it's like it doesn't even matter that his is off because he puts in the action every single day. He's acquired and manifested the skill set of a superhumanly strong guy. So the action is everything. I mean, yeah, under the layers, it's at a higher level, the mind and all this stuff takes you to that.
Like this, like really, like manifestation is like a 3-step process. Affirm it. 2, you take action, and then 3, you have to catch the opportunities the universe throws at you. I'm so dead ass. That's so 100%.
Shall receive. Ask for it, ask the universe, hey, I want XYZ. Leave
Yeah,
it by taking action, but pretending, like, not even pretend, but like being like, yo, I'm gonna get this, and you act like you're gonna get it, and then you shall receive it.
yeah.
So
It's
But
like just like
I was gonna say this: the law of opposites also sees the law of attraction. Just because you ask for something, something must be taken away.
that's why I was
um
saying like that's like a 3-step process. It's like one, you have to affirm whatever you want, either whatever your certain type of manifestation style is, visualization, affirmation, fucking writing on a piece of paper and then burning that motherfucker. Like some people look at the moon and affirm it, whatever it is. Then 2, put in the action, and 3, you have to have the intuitiveness to catch those opportunities around you because it will like the universe will give you opportunities, but some niggas don't realize that it's in front of their face, and then the opportunity leaves.
okay, hold on. I hate to just mute everybody. I don't like pressing this button, but Cisco, you gotta chill. You got hold on, what's your name? Rich like gods, 100 countries versus Americans. You got his hand up for a bit. And then Cisco, since he has something to say. All right. Sorry, Sonu. I just want to let other people talk. We'll get back to you because he was cooking. All right. Now go. 100 countries. What's up?
Yeah, I was going to say with regards to manifestation, I've been reading a lot of books lately, and it's great for people who have low self-esteem. So if you know anybody who has low self-esteem, recommend they read some manifestation books. It'll help them out.
So I don't like reading anything in the occult. I love reading. There's nothing in the occult because this is going to be a little bit like Anunnaki talk. You have Hermes and then you have Pythagoras. They're brothers. Hermes and Pythagoras. Yes, Hermes, the Greek god Hermes. His name Hermes Trismegistus. He is the author of pretty much 99% of all occult literature, all occult anything. That includes the Order of the Golden Dawn, that includes any other order, that includes the Freemasons. He is the originator of all that. And he is what I would call an Anunnaki. I'm not going to get into what those are, but just know they don't like you or me. They don't like humans a lot. Hermes Trismegistus is also known as the trickster god. Damn near everything he wrote is a lie. There's a lie in there somewhere built to deceive us. So that's why I never read anything on the occult because I just don't want to be misled. Which is one reason I love Gary, because Gary doesn't really rely on occult readings all too much. A lot of it he just built himself. It's just from observations, which is what I do. This is how I learned the manifestation process, built off observations with a little help from W.R. Shock. But yeah, no, that doesn't discount what you say. What you said, just reading from low self-esteem people is just most, especially manifestation, full of misinformation, full of just all these other things that just displace you, and that's why I don't like it.
I've been studying for a long ass time. Man, I just come across some random shit. But one thing that actually makes a lot of sense and all that stuff is when you get 4 times a year is when your manifestation is the strongest. The 4 New Years, the Chinese New Year, the American New Year, the Western Astrology New Year, and one more New Year. That's when that's when your manifestation is the strongest. But I've been studying, being like, the guy that I've watched, he said when you manifest something, you have to be willing to give something back. It can't be just you just can't be all asking. You have to give something back. Just how the yin yang works. Just how the elites do every single time the New Year's happens for 4 times a year. They do a blood ritual in the woods. So that's what I wanted to say.
Again, I don't want to discount you. The very first thing I said in this space is there's so many ways to skin a cat. There's probably 7 different ways to heaven, meaning there's more than one way to manifest. It's just I disagree with that with my research. Even though usually it comes out in a very subtle way. So you could be right still. It's just it's not something that I've observed. But it definitely does help. Like I said, I was talking about rituals earlier. That can be a part of your ritual, giving up something to get something else later.
Yeah, I totally disagree with what she said too. But go ahead.
Yeah, but again, just because I disagree doesn't mean I'm right. I've learned, just like with free energy, Andre, I know you're familiar with this. I used to be, when I learned about it from Dakota Hive, I used to be, this is the only way. This is the only way. If you don't know this, you just don't know shit. But no, there's like 6, 7 different ways to achieve free energy and free energy technologies, and that the U.S. government alone is aware about. So there's probably more than one way to manifest. You're probably right. I'm not here to just completely discount you and shut you down.
Yo, Cisco,
Yeah,
I ain't
that's
gonna hold
fine.
you,
That's
bro.
fine. You chat
Yo,
out.
Cisco, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Can you please mute yourself, bro, please?
No, you're echoing.
It's not me, it's Cisco.
Hold on, Cisco, man. Leave and then come back. Leave and then request to come back. It's something. I think your audio is messed up, man, because it's screeching in the back of my
Bro,
ears. It makes it really
bad.
hard to hear. Hold on. Yeah. So sorry to cut you off, Cisco. I love talking to you. It's just your audio is messed up. So leave and then come right back. Anybody else talking about manifestation? You guys missed the earlier parts when I was explaining everything, like all the process
Can I
and
tap
steps
in
1
for a
through
sec?
4. Who's that? Andre, go ahead.
Yeah. So you could look at it simplified as like Jedi versus Sith, right? The Sith is like the left-hand path where it's like, yeah, you're demanding power from the universe, where you basically do have to sacrifice something and give something up to have an equal exchange for what it is that you're demanding from the universe or manifesting. But the left-hand path could look at it more as like taking and demanding from the universe, where the right hand path or the Jedi path or the abundance path is basically just operating at such a high frequency that it's like you have everything you need. Everything is exactly perfect the way that it is. You could never miss what's meant for you. And by being at peace and at one with the moment, the perfect opportunity finds your way. And if you have the skill set acquired, that's when it's really like more like let God take the wheel. I'm relaxing right now, smoking a cigar in my backyard. I have 3 appointments that I didn't do anything to get. They came to me. So once you have
Mm-hmm.
this skill set, it's very much so about then getting your energy tapped in on this abundance frequency. Like, what is the highest frequent thought that there is? You're a son of God and everything is absolutely the way it is. You are completely whole and God is guiding every step of your path.
And
Something
Andre,
like this is so high frequency that you can't go astray. There are no
and,
mistakes. It's
and
all part
Andre,
of it.
I want to say. Well, before I say this, first off, you see my Twitch on the jumbotron. I need some followers. I need to get my followers up. One, just follow me. Appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah, Andre, what you were saying, I want to add to that. This matrix is full of self belief. Whatever you believe, you make your thoughts command reality, right? So if you believe you need to give up something to give something, that's probably what's going to happen, right? Your mind has more power than anything. Your mind is this matrix.
I agree with that because I was gonna say that I don't agree with that because
Yeah, I'm just going off of what Gary's video said. Gary says the law of opposites associates the law of attraction. What manifestation is the law of attraction.
Yeah.
When
yeah
you
I was gonna say what Shepard's saying I was gonna say that Gary does teach that, but I feel like like for example we'll use Gary as an example. I feel like how to utilize that law correctly. Like it doesn't have to be something detrimental that has to be taken away. Like I think he balances things out. But that's a whole different combo. I don't even think I can talk about that here.
Because I think respect to Gary, right? I disagree with Gary on a lot of things, just not numerology. I can't do shit with numerology when it comes to Gary, bro. Like I can't challenge you on numerology, but I disagree. So Gary respects the law of yin yang. I do believe yin yang is an absolute law in this matrix. I mean, that's probably where he's getting the law of opposites from when it comes to manifestation, and it probably works. That's what I'm saying. It probably works. I have no doubt in my mind that it works. It's just I have another method. I've seen other methods require necessarily giving something up consciously on a conscious level. What's up, Shepard? Just talk. Just speak. We're all here, and then Cisco after Shepard.
Oh no, I already said what I want. I don't know why the hand's still up. Let me remove it.
Okay, what's up, Cisco?
Well, I was talking about that. You talk about desire, visualization, transmission, but we are so that we can finish after that. Then we can discuss because we are now most of the time we are going out of what is our space today talk about.
Say that one more time. I'm trying to listen hard.
I know why Cat Taurus, you're echoing on your shit. I don't know why.
I am. All right, bet. So say that one more time, Cisco. I'm gonna try to hear you again.
Yeah, I said we have talked about desire, visualization, transmission, but now we are drifting away from our space because most of the time most of us are talking about crypto, others are talking about this Anunnaki thing.
I hear you. I understand what you're saying now. No, man, we drifted, but we came back. Come on, Cisco. Give me a break. Give me some space, man. Give me a little bit of leverage, man. We came back. We went back to talking about manifestation again.
I ain't gonna lie. How do we feel about manifesting through sex, through sexual transmutation? What y'all know about that?
Absolutely. Let me
that is a real thing, and y'all boys. But I don't know if people in here get action like that. But if you do, you know it works.
Man.
You know.
It's called the Great Arcanum. Anybody interested in that? Samuel Unwar is the foremost authority on that. It's called the Great Arcanum. Study.
Man, that's all the Order of the Golden Dawn does. That's what they're focused on. Is like manifesting through like sexual corruption. They do like probably the opposite of what you're talking about, Jay, with the Great Arcanum. Me, I just did that like naturally. Like it just made sense because when you orgasm, when you reach orgasm, your brain is like hitting a really, really, really high frequency for a brief amount of time. That's like it's a free entry to like a really, really high frequency. So all you do to the build up, whether you're masturbating or whether you're doing it with a partner, you just have your partner. Just here we go again.
I ain't gonna hold you. Be real, Cat. You know damn well it works the most when it's with a partner. Don't even say masturbating. You know it, bro.
I'm just including.
I think it's because the woman's womb is like an even more powerful receiver. What the fuck? Hold on, bro. 1 second. I think my brother just dropped something. 1 second.
Yeah,
So
but
just a little piece of information on the
It
great
makes sense now. Like when Gary says that women are like a battery charge for you, that does make sense.
It's really about learning how to ejaculate and how to basically have sex and take this energy, take it to an 8 out of 10, not a 10 where you release, and take that energy back up your spine so your aura is 10 times wider. Your energy is vibrating to the ether 1,000 times brighter. You are a light bulb in a dark world.
Dre,
Oh
you're
yeah.
talking about some ancient fucking monk, all the way in Eastern China, like that.
It's not some voodoo though, bro. Like I didn't
I didn't
believe
call
in
it
this
voodoo.
shit.
I didn't call it voodoo.
No, I know,
It's,
but I
it's
didn't
definitely
believe in
right.
this shit. I didn't believe in this shit till I learned how to do it. And I'll tell you what, if I'm fucking and beating cheeks and releasing, let me tell you what, you wake up in the morning, you need a cup of coffee, you're drained as a motherfucker. You are basically starting at 0 energy level. You start having sex 2, 3, 4 times a week and you don't release and you learn how to bring that energy back up your spine in the best mood of your fucking life. That's one of the principles I ever learned and applied in
I
my
bet.
life.
I bet I'm back. My fault. I let my brother and his friends use my
Real
game
quick,
room.
real quick.
Um,
Somebody has to follow me before I blow this bitch up. Somebody follow me on Twitch before I just fucking kill everybody. On Minecraft, not really. I'm just making a joke. FBI. I got NASA and FBI on my shit. But yeah, Twitch. I need more followers.
yo, you're echoing, gang.
Echoing again. It's because I'm next to my laptop. I think that's what it is. How about now? Am I doing good?
Yeah, you straight now.
Yeah. But shout out to Sonu. I hope I said that right. Thank you. Shout out to Favi, Omar. You haven't said anything.
Yeah, bro. I was listening, and you said something very earlier on the topic of stealing. So I wanted to ask you, what's the difference in your opinion from stealing people versus stealing from corporations?
So, unfortunately, stealing from corporations is the same as stealing from people. And no, like I'm sure you know, the word corporation comes from the word corpse. But still, same thing. Most likely, there's a person behind that corporation that originated whatever it is you're trying to steal. And in the eyes of the Aether, this is a loophole that the elite use. In the eyes of the Aether, you're still stealing, and it's still bad. Just like how murder is considered a theft of life, suicide. Right, still a theft of life. You're stealing your own life. Your body is not yours. You did not come here owning your body. You don't own your body. Your body signed a contract, agreeing for you to take control of it and take care of it. No, suicide, stealing your life, murder, stealing other people, stealing IP, same thing. It's just a big trick. Anything with blood too. Blood is like also very very high. Anything involving blood. So sacrificing animals, really fucking bad. Killing, murder, really bad. Any kind of blood magic, I just say no. It's not worth it. Blood is extremely karmic. One of the more karmic things in this. Any fluids, really. That's why sex is so powerful. It's an exchange of fluids, an exchange of energy, right? But yeah.
I say like this: as a grown man, if you're able to control your seed and you're able to make it go up your spine into your pineal gland, you're elite. Like you're just elite. Like, and that's like as corny. That's people be it's like not real and stuff, but people like Nikola Tesla, Einstein, all these people, they all talked about it. And if you can consciously do that, you can manifest whatever you want. Now it'll come to you in its own form, not the specific way you want it, but it'll come to you somehow, some way. That's the craziest part of all.
Yo, Cab, bro. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, brother. But so basically, fuck every bitch born on the 28th.
No, actually, that's very bad because there's a common belief in GGP3 that the more bitches you fuck, the less powerful you become. No matter, even if you're 5, right? It's better to have 1 or 2 sexual partners than it is to have 50. If you have 50, you have a problem. Because you're talking about disrupting or blocking your root chakra. Your root chakra and your sacral chakra have to do with sex. Having too much sex. Well, depends. If you have a lot of sex with one partner, then you're fine. Right? You have too much sex with different people.
You're asking, bro. My bad. You're asking.
Hold on. I keep getting near my laptop because I'm streaming right now. Shout out to the
Bro,
streamers.
you got a potato for a mic, bro. What's going on, bro?
Wow. That's
I'll be back. I don't know why Gary's calling me. I'll call you back.
yeah. Did I answer your question? Whoever I was talking to.
That was me.
Yeah.
But look, it's because I was looking at it from a perspective of, knowing law. Because, I know Dre's up here, and I listen to a lot between him and Behuti. And I was looking into law and how if you're very savvy with it and you understand law is more about interpreting language. Like, for example, if you're going to cure cancer, you don't say you're going to cure cancer, you say heal the pancreas.
Yep.
And so if you into the business world, you could open up lines, and then the actual definition of stealing is without permission or legal right and without intending to return it. So let's say you were to build up a credit line and then flip that money, and then you never have to return it. Is that considered stealing?
That's probably like one of the loopholes they use. Any loophole that they use is probably won't do too much damage. I imagine every single law like made, especially like maritime law, right? Because that sounds like maritime law, where like you just gave me the definition of stealing. That seems like something that they would use to just get out of something, like get out of doing a crime. But yeah, that anything that they do probably isn't the most damaging. But just keep in mind, every single law is made to just basically incriminate you, like as in like a human being, as in because there's a lot of other aspects to this world, right? That I just don't want to get into. But yeah, that seems like it matches as long as you pay.
Yeah, but then there's also laws where, like, I've seen people do it all through credit, and Jay-Z says it in one of the songs that 444 album, where he's talking about investing in real estate and how the Jewish and white people blew up initially, and it was all through credit. So then that's kind of where I talk about corporations and knowing that a lot of these like big corporations I'm talking about, like these Zionist brands, like, for example, if you look at COVID, a lot of the mom and pop shops went out of business because of these. There was only like if you needed lumber or hardware, the only store that was open was like Home Depot. Or if you wanted like foods or groceries, in some cities it was only Walmart. So when I guess what I'm saying, like that's kind of where I draw the line between corporations and I think robbing is like the lowest frequency. And you're operating in this frequency of intelligence, high performance, being on point. I actually think your manifestation ability would go up when you're in that frequency.
I don't know if I agree or disagree with that. That's a very interesting point. That's something I have to observe for myself. Is that something that you've observed for yourself?
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Nah, bro. I mean, I talk to a lot of people, and then I live in Cali, so the laws here were kind of designed to, if you just look at the fires, a lot of people, like if your house burned down and you're going to accumulate all this capital from a insurance company, is that kind of, like at what point is it stealing?
In that specific example, so contracts are extremely important in this matrix. You got to be very, very careful. Aren't you signing up for a job? It's very aware. So, according to the words of the contract, whatever, as simple as that. It's not considered stealing in the eyes of the matrix. You put your own energy towards it, your own signature, your own frequency towards that. So, a lot of these deals, like what was that thing that Britney Spears is in? It's called where like another dude basically owns her. What's the word for that?
Where they sign their masters off?
No. Where she has like someone else literally like take care of her, like she's considered a child, like have a childlike mind state, and so
kind of like with Usher and Diddy, where he's like liably responsible for him.
Yeah, and he takes all her money, he takes all her property. She can't own property, she can't own money, she can't start a business. Like all of it just goes.
Seems like a management deal.
No, there's a word for it though. I just forget the word. I have to think of it again. I'll think of it later. But no, that's not considered like crime in the eyes of the Aether, is what I'm trying to say, because she signed that contract somewhere. Now, it was a predatory contract. But as long as she's conscious, as long as she wasn't tricked into signing, you can't literally force someone to sign something. Maybe that happened with Britney Spears, and then in the eyes of the Aether, she'll be fine, right? Because you need your own free will. Free will is extremely important in this matrix. But other than that, if you sign a contract, man, you have to kind of adhere to it and make sure, like, there's there's multiple exits outside of a contract. That's kind of what they specialize in. These maritime law contracts, these common law contracts, marriage contracts. They always make sure there's several ways out, just in case. You know what I mean? But yeah, so to answer your question, if there's a contract, man, that's not considered stealing. Like with the insurance companies, if you're just accumulating capital, it's not exactly stealing. It depends on the intent. The Aether isn't stupid, right? It depends on the intent. It knows what your intent is. If you just purposely burn down your house to get money, that's one thing. But like if a fire happened, just like what happens in the Palisades, and then like you're just collecting capital that way, you're just being strategic with your resources, then that's a whole different story. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, thanks, but for sure, bro. Thanks.
I'm winding down. This is 2 hour long spaces. I've been talking for 2 hours. Unless any other people want to come up and say something, I'm winding down. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming up in here.
I just wanted to add real quick. I like how a lot of people were mentioning that you gain a lot of power by like saving your seed and like moving that up. I truly do feel that they attack that part of us so much, like the lust and the sexualization. So I do highly agree with people who were saying that like when you save that and you can go months and months with no sex, no fat, the energy and like the power that like you hold is like it's unreal, and like the clarity that comes with it as well. Like you just feel sharper. You feel like kind of like on top of the world. You know what I mean? And I truly believe like that is why porn is free and you got all this OnlyFans stuff. And I mean it's rampant. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, when you consider
so,
things.
yeah.
When you consider things on a spiritual level, you'll see that pretty much everything that's here is multifaceted, right? So yeah, porn. Let's take porn for example. And shout out to Jenna Lee. She gave me the word conservatorship, basically, when she signed a conservatorship with whoever it was, and she basically dude had ownership over her. Porn, for example, right? That's a root chakra, sacral chakra, negative feedback loop. Spiritually, right? Talking about your chakras, and then physically, porn addiction. Who was it? I think it was Charles Manson that said when killers, the most common factor was porn. The porn when they were young. That was the single most common thing. Was it Charles Manson? I'm pretty sure it was Charles Manson who said that in an interview. Yeah, man, multifaceted. Everything that's here is set by the elite. Multiple purposes. Just like 9/11, there was a physical aspect and a spiritual aspect. Just like COVID, spiritual aspect and the physical aspect. The spiritual aspect of COVID, back to that self-belief. How everybody lives and they create their own reality. So if you're afraid of COVID, right, you're literally telling your body to lower your own frequency. So now you can get infected with COVID. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It becomes a negative feedback loop. Because now if you're sick, you're scared. If you're scared, you get even sicker, and so on and so forth. And that's how it leads to death or maybe something even worse. But yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Appreciate that insight. Appreciate everyone in this in the chat. I joined because I follow Andre, and a notification came up that he was in this space. So I joined really late, but I followed you on here and on Twitch. So hopefully I can catch the next one. Yes,
shout out Dre, man. Shout out Dre. Appreciate you. Paul, yes, you have your hand up. And then Jacob afterwards.
Hi, sir. As a pre-life path, should I tell out loud my manifestations, what I want, or
including numerology into your manifestation? Right? I don't use it personally, but I do believe that adding numerology to your manifestations will help. And to answer your question, yes, or writing it down, right? 3 is communication, that includes writing. So you can write it down. I recommend you write it with pencil on paper, because lead is a crystal. Paper comes from trees, which is another form of crystal. You want crystal on crystal to amplify your message to the aether. Now, when you're writing, there's a lot of specifics you need to keep in mind. For example, lever rotation versus dextral rotation. Dextral rotation makes a negative charge. What is dextral rotation? Writing with your right hand or slightly indenting your word to the right causes a negative charge to your words, versus writing with your left hand causes lever rotation, which positively charges your words and amplifies your message to the aether. So yes, writing absolutely works. I think that's the big thing about The Secret. that book about manifestation, but there are certain things you need to avoid. Also, yeah, avoid vowels, no vowels, absolutely not. But that requires like quantum physics. That's why I don't recommend people write, because there are a lot of little tricks and tips that you need to keep in mind.
Thank you, sir. Also, what would you tell me about my story? Is it something you can tell, or is it like secret?
Oh, you DM me?
Yes.
I didn't read it yet. I've been talking on Spaces, so I'll read next time I go live or go on Spaces. I'll answer that question.
Thank you so much. That was my question.
Yep. Jacob, then Shepard, then I think Jordan makes moves. Is he on here? Yeah. Then he goes after him. So Jacob first.
All right, what's up? For some reason, you don't want to talk about Trump, but I sent you a DM a while back about you can answer that.
I'll answer it later. I'll answer that. Today is Manifestation Day, not about Trump. Because if I talk about Trump, I'm gonna start talking about the Anunnaki and the Illuminati and all that stuff, and we're gonna just go all over the place. But I'll read your DM. I'll read your DM. Thank you. Just DM me again, so it comes to the top of my queue.
Got it. So my other question is, did you find any more material about deep?
You know who W.R. Shock is?
Yeah, I follow him.
That's boom, right there. Answered your question. He, I think Mission Guide, the original author of Dakota High, was a group of people, and I think WR comes from that group. But yeah, basically, he is the update right there. Just look through his Twitter.
All right, got it.
Yep. Appreciate you, man. Who'd I say is next? Shepard?
Me. Yeah, I had a question. Do you have any more manifestation secrets? Like for example, when you said when you write your stuff on paper, write it with your left hand and not your right hand, which makes a lot of sense. Most people write on the right hand, but the left hand discharges positive energy, and the right hand discharges the negative energy. Do you have any more manifestation secrets that you're willing to tell us?
So thank you for asking that, because this is the perfect time to market my book, which details all this stuff, right? I'm currently revising it to include a lot of other details and a lot of other tips and tricks like that. But you can find the writing tip and a bunch of other tips on my book, Mechanics of Manifestation, which I am putting in the Jumbotron now. It's $8 or $8.99, I think. But yeah, there you go. All the tricks and stuff are in that book. Let me put it up here. I hate to be sleazy and just sell my book, but Gary tells me I got to be sleazier. Where's that? Any other questions, my friend?
No, that was it.
All right, who's next? We're getting you guys down. I think it was Omar and Cisco.
All right, for sure. Yeah, speaking on the topic of abundance and manifestation, I have a friend whose whole brand was created on those two words. He's the last guy I just retweeted right now. Hopefully he comes on. I retweeted this space, but his birthday is June 8th, 1990. What correlation do you see between his energy and those two topics in particular?
He's a 4 life path?
Nah, June 8th, 1990.
Okay, hold on. I'm not Gary. I got to do math in my head. 14, 23, 32. He's at 33, isn't he? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I can't answer that. Yeah, there's some NDA stuff in there that prevents me from answering that question in full. Actually, at all. I'm not going to approach anything NDA. This is a recorded statement. Hell no, because Gary can just come back in and be like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck?" Yeah, so I'm not answering that right now. Sorry. That's NDA. I stay far away from NDA stuff.
For sure.
Yep. Sorry about that, man. Sick.
Well, I really wish to know that apart from what you talk about writing and using shapes. So, what do you think it will be best, depending on, for example, I'm Aries. Aries, what's best for me to ritual that I can use maybe for manifestation.
Say the last half of that again, because my audio's messed up. Say it one more time.
Well, I'm saying I'm an artist. So what kind of practice will be best for artists?
I have to think on that, because I don't just want to tell you something and it be wrong. I'm very careful when it comes to giving people advice. So come back to me. Are you in the did you come from the 1 second? What's the app called? Are you
I'm in
No.
Twitter, but
Okay, you're on Twitter. Then I'll get back to you.
okay.
Yep.
And
All right.
another thing,
Yep.
there's one thing that when I was listening, it took my curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who always runs, but he's good in money. I mean, uh, I'm just asking myself if he's getting money and he's getting women. So how come when you say that the more you are getting women or the more you are sleeping with women, your ability of manifestation will
Mm-hmm.
decrease?
Well,
How does this?
there are several things you can consider. It doesn't necessarily mean he's manifesting that life, right? But some people just have an easier life than others. That's what you get when you're under a system of numerology and astrology. Some people just simply have it easier. I can't tell you who, based on like the birthday or anything, but yeah, that's absolutely. Some people have a harder life than others. Some people have an easier time getting women. Some people have an easier time making money. It's just how it is. That's not how it's supposed to be. I don't believe that's how it's supposed to be, but that's how it is under the system of numerology and astrology. Um, that's all I'll say, and I think I'll cut the spaces off here. We're approaching 3 hours, which is way too long. I like to keep it short so people can come back and watch it and not get drowned. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, Dre.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for having
Sonny.
us.
Yep, yep. Thank you, Shepard. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Music. Is my
Appreciate this for sure.
hold on, Music. Did you say something? This entire spaces? Yes or no?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I
okay. I'm making
appreciate
sure.
it. Yep.
All
Yes,
right,
sir.
cool, cool,
Thank
cool,
you.
cool, cool. Thank you, Favi. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Jenna, for coming and correcting me. All of you guys. I see Glow Baby. Shout out to you. Shout out to Wisecat. Shout out to Thoth, Jeff Bezos, my guy. Shout out to Chivo, Kovu, all you guys. I appreciate you. I'm ending the space. Thank you. And I'll be on my
Thank
Twitch.
you, bro. Thank you.
Yep. I'll be on my Twitch for an extra 30 minutes. I like to give them a little bit of extra love. I kind of neglected them. But yeah, peace. All right, y'all. I'm back. I had to kind of neglect. I'm sorry, my niggas. What's up, though? Who is this guy? Best viewers. Are you a botter, bro? I'm gonna have to get you out of here. I don't like bots. Anybody else got anything to say before I come out here? You guys know how I am. I'm giving you guys a bit of extra time. 9 viewers. What's good, man? What you want to say? Make sure you follow me. Yeah, Spaces is fire, wasn't it? I got to do more. I appreciate Gary for coming out here. Who wants to be a mod? I have 50 followers. Every 50 followers, I'm gonna add a mod. Who wants to be mod? First come, first serve. Thank you, Alec. How you been, bro? How you been, Alec? My nigga. Dang, hella people text me too. Couldn't even get to my text. But yeah, shout out to the people. Make sure you're following me. I got 50 followers now. Let's get to 100. Grind never stops. Grind never stops. Block this guy. I think he's just. Prince Kavi. I think I know who you are. How can I purchase your book? DM me. DM me. God. How do you say your name? God Ray. Yeah, DM me. It's not the first time. Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. Canada's about to be America soon. Don't worry. Don't you worry. We're taking care of you. Very shortly, we're going to take care of Canada. You don't have any of those problems. But yeah, DM me on Twitter, and I'll make sure I get that to you. Life is cooking me, trying to get back in shape. You a bit tubby? You a tubby tub? That's okay. I mean, it's not okay. Yeah. I'm probably taking a nap after this, honestly. It's not often I'm just up forever. It's been a very productive day. But usually I'm lazier and I sleep around a lot, but I've been accomplishing a lot today. But yeah, shout out to my peoples. Life is cooking me. You funny. Life is cooking me. Yeah, thank you. God R. Hayi. Account Pablo. I don't know what you mean. Like plant it in others. Are you talking about like subterfuge? Like subtly getting them to do some stuff? You know what I mean? Because then that's no. Because then that's manipulation. And I mean, you can do that. I guess like the CIA does it, right? The U.S. government does it a lot, but like it requires mass. Like they're doing it at all times, 24/7 against like billions of people at a time, which is why they manifest. Thank you, man. Thank you. It's better to just tell others and just like try to manifest something consciously. If you find someone who will do that for you, hey, that's great. I always tell my friends, hey, help me manifest this. Even if they don't do it, you know, you can't force somebody to do something they don't want to. I'm a huge believer in free will. I mean, you can, but like you don't have the technology or the money to do that. So it's better to just focus on what you want to manifest. 14 viewers. Shout out to the people. Shout out to the people. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Make sure you give me a follow. I want the name to pop up when people follow me, but it's not happening. Omar, hey, thank you. Appreciate you for the follow. We got 51? Yeah, 51. Yeah, and that's why you want to draw a picture. Yep, I remember you. Hey, I think I remember you. I think you're the Omar I spoke to. But yeah, shout out, man. Thank you for coming up in here. Account Pablo, that's why I was talking about have the picture out, right? So now it's easier. So now you don't have to rely on other people's imagination being correct. You can use your own imagination and show them what you're talking about. You know, makes sense. Like the Matrix gave you everything you need already. As in nature gives you an answer to every solution, man. You don't need anything else, which is why like that was the point I wanted to get across earlier. When people were saying, "Oh, you need demons or sex or anything like that." Like, yes, sexual energy is very powerful, like absolutely, but you don't need it. You don't need anything but yourself. You were given all the tools you need already. Yep. Unfortunately, I couldn't answer that question. That strays into NDA territory. Anything about 33 energy pretty much strays into NDA territory. Gary doesn't even tell us a whole bunch about 33s. Well, not as much as you would think. Every time I enter a store with no customers, I notice tons of people start to follow. What does it mean everywhere I go? I don't know. That's an observation you need to keep to yourself and just start to notice. Like one of those, I have one of those. Like for me, whenever I get to a street light, it always turns green, or like the walk sign always changes, without me like timing it. Like I'm not timing it on purpose, but it's something that happens. Or the other way, like it'll be an empty street, and then as soon as I start to walk, there'll be like 50 fucking cars and like just a bunch of traffic. I think that probably means like the Matrix has its eye on you. You know, depending on what happens, right? You're always being watched. You're always being watched by several people. Don't think you're alone for a minute. Several different parties, several different people are always watching you. You're more important than you think, brother. That gets into the alien stuff. I really wanted to avoid the alien shit and the Anunnaki shit. None. Nabs 280. Can you recommend good subliminal channels on YouTube? 0, because you never know what the fuck. There was a bit of controversy like 5 years ago, I think, when this dude, he was putting Christian subliminals into all of his, like he was a big channel, big subliminal channel, and he was putting Christian subliminals. He was trying to force people to become Christian in his subliminals, but he wouldn't tell anybody because usually, like, hold on, let's go to Aquo. Aquo is who I used to use before I learned how to make it myself. All right, let's go here. On any one of his subliminals, it would be like big ones. He has like millions of views on some of these. Home. Don't care. Big ones. Here we go. Yeah, let's. Usually, like that someone has, right? Or maybe it's somewhere in the comments. But you can also hear them in. Good. But yeah, you see what I mean? But yeah, someone was putting Christian subliminals into their videos trying to make people go Christian, and they got caught, and that was a big controversy. So yeah, you just make them yourself. Do I make videos on YouTube? Sometimes. From time to time, like every couple months. Oh, what's my YouTube? I have two. I have AstroCat 44. Oh, let me shut down the YouTube live too. Sorry to this person on YouTube live. I'm gonna shut it down. What have I manifested? I don't know if you're still here, so I'm not going to answer the question. I'll answer that later. But thank you for coming. I manifested a bunch of things, man. A bunch of things. Jobs, opportunities, women, friends, man. You can manifest anything you want. It's up to your imagination. Wait. Someone said wait. Oh, you're so cute. Get uBlock extension. I don't know who that is. Like I said, I don't read a whole bunch on these things. It's mostly just stuff. I would like to know if this is safe. Go ahead. Does what work? I feel like you're a bot. Tell me. Just get to it. Anelia Chander Singh. I don't know if I said that name right. But yeah, does what work? Oh, that I have an extension to block ads. I think I just don't use it. But you're right. Dolores Cannon. That name sounds familiar. She sounds really familiar. I've heard of her for sure. I just haven't read anything by her. I don't read too much except for like W.R. Shock because I've vetted him and I believe that he's a reputable source. You know what I mean? Sounds believable. You know what I mean? I need hope that this works. The law of assumption. Yeah, it works. It's just there's some things. Rewatch this video. I don't know if you were here from the beginning, but yeah, rewatch this video. And I talk about like in the first 40 or so minutes, I talk about the process of manifestation. I think it works a lot better than the law of assumption. It's a lot more consistent. So if you want a way to manifest, I break it down in the first 40 minutes of this live. So when I end this live, save this video and watch the first 40 minutes or so is when I explain the process. Yeah, I'm not going to say like there's so much to this earth, bro. God or hey, there's so much to this planet. Like the world is much more than it seems. So I'm not just going to say that sounds insane. It's just I'm not going to invest in that. She could be right, she could be wrong. I just don't know. There's too much to this world to just investigate every single thing. Nah, I mean, yeah. Hopefully you get something out of it, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, now I'm gonna end the YouTube. My audio was so fucked up, but I appreciate you, Anelia. Thank you for everyone who's here and who liked my stream. We got 3 likes. It's lit. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Peace.